Oh, yeah, the sweet sounds of Midway Radio. Hey, guys.
Sweet sounds of Doug Infinite.
It's Carlos. Welcome back. It's been a couple weeks, but we're back, and we're going to be talking to Mr. Pat. Mr. Pat, we got that done, Pat.
Yeah, a suit.
What's going on, Pat?
I'm the suit. You can say it. It's all good. I'm the suit in the room.
DJ Spreadsheets.
Yeah. Excel formulas, right. What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh,
yeah, thank you.
And welcome to Midway Radio. It's like the Fire Festival, but instead of people paying to be homeless for a week, we got DJs. DJs like DJ Sean Doe.
Yo, what up, everybody?
Oh, DJs like Bangs God himself. DJ Risky Business.
You know, I wonder every week what the fuck you're gonna do to the fucking we're like something, but instead we have DJs. You never fail to amaze me.
Yeah, every week.
This one, when I started looking through and looking through Pat's Facebook feed, I was like, this dude's got this badass music festival. Instantly, I was like, I got it. Oh, hey, the director of the documentary, the one and only, Ryan Brockmeyer.
Thank you, studio audience. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, everybody?
What are we doing?
Do we have any Midway-related updates?
Well, since we've unfortunately had to kind of take the last couple of weeks off due to some issues with guests and their schedules, I want to say we've interviewed Four Eyes since our last show, I think. So for people that don't know him, he is originally from Chicago. He's part of Ludacris's Disturbing the Peace crew. I actually didn't know. I mean, I knew that he was part of that whole camp. I honestly didn't know that they went as far back as they did, as far as like going to school together and stuff like that. So
yeah, they went to OPRF together, which is Oak Park River Forest High School.
If you listen to one of his latest songs that I found on maybe Facebook or whatever, he goes through that whole entire thing talking about getting busted for drunk driving, and Luda came and got him out of jail and all kinds of stuff. Like, I was like, wow, like you just putting it all out there. Like, you about to run for office, Mr. Four Eyes? What's going on, son?
It was a really, really good interview.
It was really good. Yeah.
Got
a lot of insightful shit to say from the perspective of someone who's from here and left, and from kind of that, he brings that kind of like, even though he's from here, he also brings that outside looking in perspective too, which is really important for the story. So, because it helps kind of corroborate what we feel is some of the reasons, and he kind of helps corroborate that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to Jay Norm for helping us be able to film the interview at Subterranean too. So
absolutely,
shout out to Jay Norm,
Sub T Gomez. All those guys have always been supporters of, like, from me and Mike to everybody.
The guys who promoted that show. I think the show was it was Four Eye, Shauna, and Phenom on that show, and I guess there's a cat named White Jesus who does, I think he does promotions. He was very, very helpful with getting our interview done. So big ups to that cat. And for some reason, I'm forgetting the other guy's name. He was actually there at the show, or at the filming for Four Eyes. Jay Norm was telling me about how they were instrumental in doing some things in the past, so we're gonna get their interview, soon too.
Dope.
I'm like lost in my head right now about that name, White Jesus. That's kind of got me like double thinking history and shit. Like, Jesus wasn't white, so you gotta say you're the White Jesus. That's a good name.
Hey, I know a whole bunch of Mexican Jesuses. They're still walking the planet as we speak.
We got lost. White Jesus.
It blew my fucking mind, man. That name blew my mind.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I've always been excited about that since 70s sitcom Good Times. When
oh yeah, when Michael started talking about Black Jesus,
Michael came in. It was like that's really from downstairs. He downstairs drunk right now. But that's more Jesus to me than anything. So big ups.
Good Times, one of the finest TV shows.
Yeah. Chicago than a motherfucker.
Yeah, and that's a really good tutorial for Chicago life. People are like, "What's it like to live in Chicago?" I'm like, "Go watch Good Times."
Yeah.
Good Times to get the real story, and then Ferris Bueller to make you feel good about what the fuck Chicago is.
Everybody says they live in Chicago. Like, you're from Schaumburg.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm from Joliet. And never once did I say I was from Chicago. You guys will know.
People are like, oh, where that prison is?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the prison? Yep, prison. Yeah.
What was that one show, wasn't it, on NBC or whatever, where the two brothers, the one got arrested because he wanted to go save his brother out of jail? Wasn't that in Joliet?
Was it? I think I know that show you was talking about too.
Is it TV
Prison Break. It was on Fox. Prison Break.
Oh yeah.
That was based out of Joliet, really?
I think so.
That's hilarious if it was.
Yeah, it's Statesville, yeah.
I mean, that was me. That was my life growing up, to be honest with you. Just that show. Every episode was like breaking out of prison. No, I'm joking. I was never near the prison.
I was going to say, I'm glad you made it out. Holy shit.
I never said inside that prison.
You're going to have a really exciting podcast.
Yeah.
How did Pat break out of prison? I had a spoon, a cape.
So you broke out of prison. So after you left prison, you got into promoting shows, huh?
Yeah, start throwing shows. That's how I got my start. Right.
Some kind of way you didn't find yourself back in. That's awesome.
Speaking of, so did you grow up in Joliet for real?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did actually. I mean, shit. Like my dad grew up in Joliet. My fucking they were raised in Joliet. So my dad, I went to a party in high school, like in sophomore year of high school, in the house that my dad grew up in. So like I was there 16 getting drunk, and I went up to my dad's room.
21 getting drunk.
Yeah.
This show does not condone the misbehavior of youngsters.
Right, exactly. So it's fucked up. So yeah, I got a long time Joliet family. Yeah.
That old part of Joliet, I mean, that's old. That's an old city. People have been there for since as long as Chicago. That city's been there.
Yeah, man, it is old. It's old as fuck. It was not the east side. I'll tell you, it was not the hill. I'll tell you that much. But it was just west of the river, kind of. If you know the area. I don't even know what it's called. It's a neighborhood, man. It's ranch houses and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the area a little bit down there, but yeah, it's definitely old. And what's Joliet Catholic is obviously a very well-known high school for its athletics.
Right. I went to Township. I went to public school.
Oh, okay.
My parents would not let me go to Catholic.
Yeah,
good move, parents.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot.
Good move.
They didn't think you'd be
the writing on the wall, didn't they?
Yeah, Joliet Catholic had all the good drugs. At fucking Township, we had the brick shit, man.
Pat, they didn't think you were going to be the next Rudy Rudiger?
No, hell no. Not my ass. we would play. I played soccer through high school, and we played at the East Campus. And if you guys don't know, Joliet, the East side was a little rougher than the West side. So it was the East Campus, and the soccer field was lined by like a creek and like woods. And no lie, we had homeless dudes come out of the woods and like interrupt our soccer practice like at least 3 times a season. We have to be like, no, we don't got anything. We're just practicing here. And they'd be like, hey, get away.
Hey man, I got a soccer ball for you.
We have our own team over here.
Yeah. They like come out and steal the soccer balls from you guys, try to sell them to you guys later.
Hey,
no, that was
I was down in LA
Hey, look,
on the beach.
Dude, I had run out in soccer practice and just start like fucking coming up and dribbling the ball, taking it away from you guys.
I'll play goalie. You know.
Yo, when I was living in LA, I went to the beach and this homeless dude was trying to sell me a used McDonald's cup.
It's a good cup, man. It's got a bottom and everything.
Look, it holds. I'm like,
Oh,
bitch, there's a crease going right down the side. That's gonna break any second now.
Hey, I was gonna be on Chicago show, so I made sure to use my my Dennis Rodman hair turn.
Nice.
Oh, nice. It changes colors when you put like cold in it.
Yeah, well, not really, because his hair is kind of flaking off.
Oh shit!
Did it though? It changed colors for
It
real?
used to though.
Yeah, his hair,
Yeah.
it changed like blue or something.
That's
I remember those.
I dusted this off for you guys today. So
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
it's probably gonna give me cancer drinking out of it, but it's small.
Way to take it for the team.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Jesus.
So your parents were smart enough to not let you go to Catholic school. What did they say when you said, I want to get into hip hop and promoting music and stuff like that?
They were surprisingly supportive. My dad was an attorney in defense for like accidents and stuff, and he told me, do not become a lawyer. That fucker, he worked 7 days a week. My friends had a joke where he was just like always have these giant briefcases piled around him like a little fort.
Wow.
He was like, just don't do what I do. And I said, music, and they said, yeah, sure. I'm Irish, so it's my uncle sings and my dad sings, and like we're very Irish are very musical, poetic people. So like when they heard music, they're like, go for it,
That's dope.
So I did, and luckily it worked out a little bit,
So what was your first foray into music, into hip hop?
That's awesome.
And
obviously, you
can.
He must not be able to hear us. You're gonna have to be. You're gonna have to be quiet.
Sorry.
We'll give you a sign when you can ask a question. Okay.
Well, I went to USC in Los Angeles to the School of Music, so I was lucky to do that whole thing.
Oh, so
yeah. So Joliet's a very I come from a Notre Dame family, we're Irish and shit. So it was either like going to South Bend, Indiana, or Los Angeles, California, and I chose Los Angeles, California. So when I got there, I started doing shows with all like the Project Blowed guys.
Yeah.
So they were good friends of mine out there. I just started doing like shows on campus and shit, and like Red Bull was giving us money at that time, and Scion was giving us like free socks and shit. So like
Scion was doing a ton of shit at that time.
Dude, I know. Fucking word up to like Scion and Red Bull for being the free shit since like 2002.
Yeah.
So that's how I got my start, and then I came back here and I just started I was like walking dogs, like picking up dog shit all day long, doing my own shows at night, and then it kind of steamrolled from there.
So going back and forth between Chicago and LA and Project Blowed, at what point did you run into Anacron?
Shit. I mean, he was out there a lot, man. He was everywhere, I don't know. Those fools, they got around. They were always down to do something no matter what it was. And that's what I loved about those guys. Like nothing was like too small or something like that. They're always just like, what do you want us to do? Like we're in. They were down. Yeah. So I got a lot of love for those guys, man, And I came back here, and I got to say, like when I first got back here, like the come ups really gave me a lot of love. So they're the first kind of crew I feel like that kind of brought me into what they were doing. That's, you know, Pickle, Intel, Maker, you know, Garibaldi, Sang, kind of all those kind of guys, and DJ True. Me and him did a lot of shit when I was first coming up. So shout out to those guys, man. They really kind of brought me into their whole crew and helped me get started over here. So a lot of love for those guys.
So what do you remember the first show that you did with the Come Ups?
It might have been it wasn't like Come Ups proper, but like I think like Pickle was on it and maybe Intel was on it. Was Cut Chemist at Funky Buddha Lounge. So that was pretty tight. Yeah, that might have been the first one, I think. So that was a fun one, man. We had the camera set up on the booth so you could see what Cut Chemist was doing. He's doing the whole like video thing at the time. So that was a real fun show. R.I.P. to Funky Buddha, man. That was a good spot.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Even that dude, Joe, who I think is still doing shit, who owned it. He was kind of crazy, huh? You guys meet that Joe guy?
Yeah.
What was his last name?
He's an Italian dude, right?
Yeah.
Did he do anything? Did he run anything else?
Yeah, well, he did some club that was before my time, and then the Shrine was his.
Shrine?
Yeah.
Joe. Yeah. Joe Russo?
Yes, Russo.
Yes, Russo.
So, you know, he had great taste and he did a bunch of cool shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what he does nowadays though.
I don't know if he's even around. I tried to find him because he was somebody that should be interviewed, because he did have a lot of nights where, you know, it was pivotal for Chicago and Chicago hip hop. So I mean, just Chicago music in general, but
yeah,
you know, so but I can't find him as of yet. But I did put
looks like he's here on Facebook.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, is he in Chicago? And does it say Chicago on Facebook?
It does, yes.
So yeah, Funky Buddha was fun, man. That was a good spot.
Yeah, it was. That was always a good time.
I think I was at that party too. Was Frank involved in that too? In a way,
I can't remember. Maybe. Like Murray was DJing.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of breakers. Like, yeah. Shout out to Murray. He's listening. Murray's out in California right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing his thing.
Yeah. Big ups, Murray. Yeah. So when did so you started, like, what were the major spots that you were doing parties for or with in Chicago?
So when I first got started, it was like Sub T, the Abbey, Dark Room was a good one. Double Door was a good one. That spot that got closed down at Grand and Ashland, there was a bunch of shootings there.
Betty's Blue Star.
Yeah, Betty's Blue Star. Yeah, the second show was.
Yo, I got a story about that one too.
Dude, Betty's Blue Star was a crazy fucking place. The dude who like managed it had those crazy cross-eyed. I don't know if you know that dude. He was like super cross-eyed. I hope I'm not like just talking shit about people on this thing.
Don't worry, they don't watch this show.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, I had like a Jay Davis trio at Betty's Blue Star, like a live jazz pop thing. Yeah, I mean, any spot that was like, you know, below 800 cap, like I was all over it, you know. Like me and Nigel, who does Ground Lift Media, like we were partners on pretty much everything and did a bunch of shows together. So, yeah, and then I don't know if you guys want me to tell my whole life story, but I'll just answer the question straight up, you know. I can keep going.
Excuse me.
If you don't do it, Risky will.
What? Did you just happen to kind of fall into like the promotional side, or is that something that you like really wanted to do?
Well, I mean, I just kind of gave it a shot out in LA. Good thing, like I don't believe college is really necessary nowadays for like to be a success, obviously. But the good thing about it is sometimes they'll give you money to do shit, which is what I did. I took their money and I just throw like small shows in the basement of like the student union building, you know, and like just to kind of throw a party. So then I just kind of got the bug. I would just throw house parties and book DJs out there, and you know, I just kind of got the bug for throwing shows. Came back here, I just started throwing small shows that would, you know, I would just be able to pay. I'd just tell the artist like, hey, I'm going to pay out the door. And like, if it doesn't make money, no one makes money. They'd be like, yeah, it's fine. So luckily I was blessed enough to work with, you know, people who are cool enough for that. And then, yeah, it's kind of got the bug, and it never stopped really. So luckily I still have a roof over my head, I guess, because it's not easy.
Oh, no, I thought Sean was going to say something.
Yeah.
Oh no! I had to log off to make sure Chad was okay. So he's coming back.
Yeah, it was Cold Drums Productions was the name of the company. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that shit, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But so since then, obviously you're moved on to super huge things, which is just awesome to see. So like, talk about React and like what that whole thing is about.
Yeah, so when I was kind of running the smaller shows, this guy Lucas King, who started React with Jeff Callahan, he kind of noticed what I was doing. So he started tapping me to do some bigger shows at the Congress Theater, which I know everybody has a love-hate relationship with the Congress Theater. But we had some good times there.
We had talked about one show that I.
Does it rhyme with use a broom? Yeah, so we had good times at Congress. You know, we did the crazy ass Wu-Tang shows there. Sean's referring to the MF Doom show, which was, you know, a notorious show, I guess. That was ours. So me and Luke started doing a bunch of Congress shows. And then they started, so his background is like electronic music, and they started the Midnight Club. And when they started the Mid, they were like, we need a full-time marketing guy. So they hired me on to be their marketing guy. And then that kind of, unfortunately, kind of took over a lot of my time, and I wasn't able to do as much hip hop stuff as I, you know, wanted to. But, you know, a job in the live music biz is a job, so I took it. But we did a lot of cool shows at like the Mid. You know, we had African Bambaataa, we had Black Thought, we had Ice Cube, all those breaking battles were dope. I forgot the dude's name who ran those battles though. Yeah, we had like Kid Koala and all those guys. So we had some good nights in the Mid. I mean, doing like electronic music just kind of took over my life, and you know, we still do hip hop shows when we can. So we do that too.
You know what I felt that was really good about those shows though? Like you could tell, like when you could get a DJ that you knew spun hip hop, but was able to spin other things too, you would put them on the bill. Like I knew you had something to do with putting them on the bill. So you were still supporting, you know, hip hop, and you know, you were still supporting the community by bringing them into the Mid, which was dope to me.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And I mean, yeah, I was the hip hop dude in the company, so they would say, hey, and I actually booked some of those headliners too. But they would say, hey, you know, we got this. I'm talking to this agent about this guy. Book out the rest of the bill, and then I just booked the rest of the thing out and put all the homies on, people who I thought would be a good fit, you know.
Yeah.
And we've been doing North Coast together too since before React actually. And North Coast is pretty heavy hip hop, you know. Wu-Tang and Nas and Damian Marley was on there, and we had Mac Miller, and I mean the list goes on for hip hop in North Coast. Excuse me. And then plus like Caesar and all those guys been doing the Living Gallery thing.
They got Caesar.
Yeah, so that's what these two behind me are. That's Rada. This is Elo's piece from a few years back. So we've been doing the live graffiti thing on North Coast for it's gonna be our 10-year anniversary for North Coast.
Just gonna say that's crazy. It's been 10 years already.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a long trip, man, but still here.
You guys, I mean, you know, the word success, I guess it can take on different meanings, but like you guys hit it off pretty good with North Coast from the beginning, right? Or was it a kind of a slow build up for that? I seem to remember North Coast kind of hitting it off pretty good when it started. Yeah.
Well, North Coast really came from, it was a combination of guys. It was me, Lucas and Jeff, who formed React. We're all the partners. Two guys from Silver Rapper, who do like more jam band, electronica kind of stuff. That's Berg and Leif. And what we saw was there were three scenes in the music biz that were kind of converging, which was like the jam stuff, the electronic stuff, and hip hop. we could see those three crowds kind of starting to go to like the same stuff, with like pretty lights and like that kind of stuff. We basically built a festival based around that kind of scene that was kind of building out, and it worked out well. So like North Coast would always have electronic, hip hop, and jam band stuff, and that was like kind of the idea from the start, and it worked out for us. So
it's pretty dope.
What was it about doing? What was it about putting together shows for other people that made you say, I kind of want to do this for myself? Did you not like learn anything using someone else's money?
I mean, I actually I did it in reverse. I started out doing my own shows, learned how much money I could lose doing a show, and then I got hired to do it full time as a marketing guy. And found that to be a lot more sustainable, you know, a lot less stressful. But like they were, you know, it was always good. I always had input. That's a good thing about the companies I worked for. They were cool because they always let everybody have input in what you were doing. It was never like, this is your role, you're going to do this, just shut up and do it, you know, like we all had input, which is really cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, I was really lucky in that aspect.
Yeah. So I want to go back to something. We need to go back to that MF Doom show.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You know what's funny? You know what's funny is every now and then, like I saw Shazam Bangles post something on Facebook recently. It was like, hey, you guys remember that MF Doom show? And I just like the entire time I don't say shit. I don't comment. I don't like it. I just like keep scrolling down my feed. But yeah, what's your question, Sean?
Well, it's not really a question, but
I was like, can I get my jacket back?
No. So here's the thing about this show, which was pretty awesome to me. When I went, because I've been to an MF Doom plenty of shows before, I kind of knew something could go like left. Like he's the motherfucking supervillain. Like this is what he does. So Most Def is on, and it seems like he's on for a long time. I was like, yeah, I'm about to go. And I just left. So the next day, I hear that, you know, about the Doom bot and all this other good stuff and how people were mad. And I was like, why are you guys mad? You knew like that could happen. But then maybe about a week out, J-Rock called me from the Beat Junkies. He was like, yeah, because I think he was coming for a show for the Shrine. And we talked about it. And he was like, yeah, he was overseas and he had heard about the Doom thing. And I was like, yo, this was huge. So right after this, like I started looking at the internet and watching the internet. And it was just like, Doom doesn't show up for a show. So basically, like, it could have been like I don't think of it as a failure because this show went down in history as like
it was like by far the biggest show, like by thousands and thousands of people that he's ever tried that at, you know? That's why I was so surprised because I was like, no, there's no way he's gonna do this at a show this big. Like the Congress was sold out. It was like 4,500 people. And I was like, and Most Def was on the show too. Yeah. I was like, no way he's gonna do this to Most Def, dude. Like, yeah, me, I'm a fucking suit, right? Like, okay, but no way for 4,500 people. No way when he brought Most Def out because we didn't put that bill together. Doom did that shit.
Yeah.
So Most Def was there too, and I was like, no way he's gonna fucking bail on this. And then lo and behold,
oops,
his tour manager, what's that dude's name? Klingon Ben. You guys know that dude? That dude's a fucking shit, man. I'll tell you a story about Klingon in a second. So he's like, and I guess, you know, I could see MF being like a very kind of antisocial person. So the whole time Ben's like, oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. He's just going to chill in the car. He's just going to chill in the car and shit because they like, because he's like, he doesn't want to come inside. Just let him know when his set's on and he'll roll on stage. And I was like, okay, like it's the night of the show. Most stuff is in the building. Like, I don't think you're gonna do this to me.
That bug was at the Hollywood having a flapjack combo.
Right. Like, you know, their spidey sense is starting to go off, you know. And then the whole shit went down, and we asked Ben Klingon for like a statement, you know, from Doom. We're like, all right, well, does he have a statement? Like, like he gives a shit, you know. And Ben Klingon's statement was one word and just went arg. And that was the entire thing. I was like, that's hilarious, and I get it because you're a Klingon, and like that's a Star Trek reference. But like, you know,
well, we got thousands of people here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not that cute.
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you guys do?
I mean, what could we do? Like the agent was like, "Fuck off! You're not getting anything back." Like he's an artist. What do you expect from him? You know?
Yeah, I expect him to show up.
But what's funny is, I mean, it was not funny. And honestly, I do feel bad about it, but like there wasn't much I could do at that point, you know.
Sure.
But one thing is, if you remember, the Atmosphere also came to Congress later that that year. So Atmosphere was typically a Jam Productions show. Mm-hmm. You know, Jam Productions, a company in Chicago, did a lot of rock shows and stuff. But we got the Atmosphere show because the agent felt bad that Doom did that to us because it was the same agent. So then from then on, we started getting all the Atmosphere shows. So he was like, sorry about that. Here's Atmosphere. I'll break my relationship, you know, for Atmosphere and give it to you guys. So we got Atmosphere out of it. And we've been doing Atmosphere shows since that show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Festivals, and they've played our shows up in, you know, near Minneapolis, and he's played every show of ours since then. So that's kind of cool, but you know, the rest of it sucked.
Yeah, well, the whole world knows about that one show at the Congress. Like,
is he still doing that?
Andrew Barber was even like, "Hey man, like I know because I don't know if you guys know Andrew Barber of Fake Short Drive. He's a good dude. He's doing a lot of good shit." He even told me, he kind of saying the same thing that you, Sean. He was like, "Look, man," he's like, "this is awesome publicity for you. Like, no, you know, everybody kind of half expected. You know, we all know you're professional and do your homework. It's Doom." He was like, "Why would you want to like, you know, shoot this away?" But at the time, I was like a 24-year-old kid, haven't done that many shows, and I was just fucking like dying, you know. But he was like, "It's fine, man. You're doing all right. Like, this is the best publicity you ever got, you know."
Yeah.
I guess so. And I don't know. Does he still do that? I don't know.
So I don't think he does it to the capacity. I think the Congress was the biggest show that he did that at.
Did he not understand how big it was going to be?
I mean, he had to know the capacity, which is 4,500 people.
And it was sold out, right?
It was sold out, yeah.
Damn, it was sold out.
And
who else was on that bill? Who else was on that bill?
Good question. It was all homies. It was like, yeah, like Psalm 1 was on it. My girlfriend just shouted from the other room, Psalm 1. I think like,
hey girl, how you doing?
Yeah.
Give her a shout out for letting us borrow you.
I think Mass Hysteria was on it too.
Oh wow.
Intel had some shit thrown at him because he DJ'd early in the night.
Oh,
right. Maybe I think Quell and Maker I think might have been on that show too.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
it was really deep show.
I mean, it was deep, and I put all the homies on it. That's all I really try and do is like what really gets me off, like it's like
yeah, like your girlfriend's like, you better answer that correctly.
It's like booking big headliners and then putting homies on to open and exposing an audience to homies who I think deserve the exposure.
Yeah.
That's like all I want to fucking do. That's all I would ever want to do in this business, you know.
That's good looking.
Which is dope because there's so many promoters that don't do that. It's all about the draw. It's all about who's, you know, who can we get to keep packing it in. Not to say that the homies can't, but it's so needed to have a champion for that. So
yeah.
On behalf of everybody, I thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Like last year, I got to book that whole DJ tent for North Coast, and it was all homies. Like Rude One came back to town.
Yep.
Jesse De La Penny was on it. That was fun, man. Maker played. That was dope. It was like if I was to throw a house party, that's like who I would book to play a house party. It was at North Coast, and kids were like, you know, you guys know what like a Wookiee is? Like a Wookiee is like a festival kid. I don't know if you guys have that term in the hip hop world. You know, a Wookiee is,
I'm not sure.
Look up, like Google like a festival Wookiee real quick, and it's like kids who like go to festivals and like have dreads and like general little like, you know, festy kids. Like they were in front of like Jesse De La Pena getting down to his set, you know.
That's dope. That's dope.
And they've like never heard of who he is, you know, but they're like just kind of, they're wooks, man. They're lovable new age hippie wooks.
So apparently to be a festival Wookiee, you need to have dreads and 0 teeth.
do they typically smell like patchouli?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Almost religiously, yeah.
I like Wookiees.
Oh. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Look.
Right, you obviously like Wookiees too.
This is an original Burger King glass.
Nice.
You know what's funny is I was sitting here thinking, is that his forearm? Is that his ankle? Like,
no, it ain't the tattoo. This is the glass, motherfucker.
I'm like, please be his ankle, because I don't want to know where that is.
I got the Wookiee back here.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, Carlos started it.
Told you.
So you've put on a lot of the homies. And you've also thrown a lot of, like, back in the day, you threw a lot of hip hop shows with homies. Do you remember some of the groups that you did, like, that was from Chicago that you did put on?
Fuck. I mean, some of the homies that I put on, like all the homies I put on shows.
Yeah, just some more. Like, I know you already said Someone Maker.
Yeah, Someone Maker, Quelly, you know, Quelly and Maker when they did their thing. Necessaria. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. I have to like look through all my past flyers and shit to see what I put on. Like Illy, I put Illy on a lot of shows. You know. Yeah, Audacity was on a good amount of them. Talk about a great host, man. Audacity was the best in the business, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many. It's hard to, like, you know, when someone asks you a question, like, someone, like, name everything you can think of, it's hard to, like, name the first one, you know?
Sure.
But yeah, they're all homies, man. So
we'll need to talk to you a little bit later about flyers if you have some, because we would definitely like to have some for the archives that we are doing over at Columbia College.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I got a stack. I got stacks on. It's just wild.
we were excited about the flyers.
Jesus Christ. A well-oiled machine over here at Midway Radio. Look at that.
Hey, this in the chat room. MF Doom said, "Hey Pat, my bad. Can you put me on your house party list?" Just kidding.
Oh,
he didn't say that shit. He didn't say this.
MF Doom, he owes Chicago, man. He owes a concert.
Yeah, he does.
Has he been back since then?
You know what? I don't think so.
Not Chicago for sure.
Yeah.
Because I got a carton full of eggs just waiting. Isn't he like in London or something? Like he can't return to the country or something like that? Or that might be. I thought he was something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I remember the MF Doom show that I did get a chance to see at the Metro.
That was great.
It was crazy, but he did not step on stage until 3 a.m.
Wow.
Oh.
And you know the Metro closed. Like we had a strict time that we would close. Like
it had a hard close. Like they just turn the lights on in the middle of the set and be like, "Peace."
Yeah. I mean, like even working the Metro, because I used to work security there. Like I wasn't working security there for that MF Doom show, but I know exactly how we run security. And that one show was the one show that I think like everything was just because of who he was. Like he got on at 3, we probably didn't leave there till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't even. Oh, nope.
That was on a bus back then, so I didn't get.
I don't give a shit how popular or how good you are. 3 o'clock, I'm out. Give me my pillow.
Risky and I went to the Congress to see. Remember that like 90s lineup that had like Razkaz, Naughty by Nature, House of Pain. Who remember that show that we went to the Congress? And for whatever
was it House of Pain and Jizza for St. Patty's Day? I think was it that one or no?
I don't remember Jizza being there.
Okay, no. I did House of Pain and Jizza on like St. Patrick's Day or something.
That had to be crazy.
Oh wow!
I remember that. I was just gonna say that for whatever reason, real quick, that was another show that I don't know why it started so late, but it started late. Like Naughty was the headliner, and they didn't start until it was after 1 o'clock, 1, 2 in the morning, something like that.
Yeah, that's what.
Right?
Well, that could be. But the one thing that I'll say though is for the amount of people that were still there, I mean, there's still a couple hundred people there. I will say Tretch did full Tretch, taking off the shirt and going to town at like 2 in the morning in front of like 100 people.
It's amazing how he would have.
I do remember that.
You remember Tretch's shirtless body? That's what you're saying?
I also.
Don't you know? You never go full stretch. Go full stretch.
That's let his hair flow.
I also remember that when they had a giant digital backdrop in front of everything, and when Razkaz was on, I think he opened the thing, and somebody spelled his name Razkaz in back. So dude was rapping in front of his own.
Oh, they went
his own misspelled name.
Super phonetic. Well, he's a rapper. He's got to spell it this way. Why would he use that?
I've got a photo of it somewhere.
Dude, the staff of the Congress was crazy, man. Like everywhere from like security guys to like they didn't have I was gonna say to the janitor, but they didn't have a janitor. There was no janitor at the Congress Theater.
Damn.
Like sound guys to like everyone was just nuts.
So I remember being in a green room at the Congress. Did they have houses, like apartments upstairs?
Yeah, the Congress, I think, like owned that whole building. So like all those gallery shops on the first floor and like all those apartments, they owned all that shit too. And I had people who lived in those and they were like, oh yeah, he's a horrible tenant. I was like, no shit. Yeah, man, he owned that whole block.
Yeah, it freaked me out because you go to the green room and then somebody come out in a towel about to go to the community.
But is the Congress really haunted?
Supposedly in the basement it is. I mean, I know sound people who are like, oh yeah, I'll be here late at night, and all of a sudden I see someone sitting up in the thing, and I turn around, they're gone or some shit like that. I hear about that, but who knows? I think that ghost
hunters.
Yeah, they went there. They're like walking the basement shit.
They should have went to the Metro because the Metro is definitely haunted.
Really?
Yeah, the Metro's haunted, bro. I used to go down in the basement like, yo, I know y'all don't fuck with black people. I'm just here. I'm cool.
Are you sure? Black people the first to go in those movies, man.
Right? No, Ghost.
Yeah,
Ghost,
right.
We're cool with Ghosts.
It's just the slasher films.
Slashers, no.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Jordan Peele is trying to change this. So,
what he's doing is he's opening the door for ghosts to fuck with black people.
Yeah, that is true.
There you go.
Motherfuckers did not fuck like. We'll get on our us thing later because I have to talk to my friends about that. But back to Pat.
Look, the Congress is one of those places where like a lot of Chicago venues where the basement would like have a hallway. They went down the block and then up into people's like apartment buildings and shit. It was like one of those venues. It's like that shit was old as fuck, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the mob places. Risky, you should know something about this. You're the mob guy for Chicago.
Yeah, what about it?
Does the Congress have anything to do?
Mob ties?
Yep.
Off the top of my head, I don't know, but if it was the business in Chicago, as old as it was, then I would have to say yes.
Yeah.
Because anything that was making money usually had to come through some sort of tax somewhere, whether it was an outfit tax or whether it was another gang. Typically, any type of entertainment always involved whatever gang was in that area. Because I mean, the outfit was only one part too. I mean, they eventually took over the whole city, but back then there was many gangs. So
what gang do you think was around in that area?
That might be fuck, what's his name? God damn it, Jaime Weiss. That might be.
You can tell Midway Radio people, this is our mob guy. Risky he knows everything about all mobs.
It's funny you say that. I'll tell you later what we're doing. So
sweet. Secret mob shit about risky business.
Yeah. Wow. I can't tell you about it. I'll have to fucking kill you.
Right. You have to kill me? Yeah, I know.
For all you mob guys out there that are listening to this show, I'm the joke guy. I'm clean. I don't need to haunt a damn thing.
I'm broadcasting live from Melrose Park right now. What do you want? Forget about
it. Hey, Risky, it's 8:57. You can ask a question.
Motherfucker. You know,
no, please tell us.
I love it.
Oh, okay.
You're just gonna keep it to yourself.
I was so lost because I spent fucking 45 minutes trying to fucking get. Look, you know what? Fuck Safari. That's what I'm just gonna say. I got on Chrome. Everything's fucking beautiful. Yep. I was on Safari, and Safari was just fucking me this whole time.
Okay, so here's a pro tip. If Google makes Hangouts and Google makes Chrome, math would tell us.
Genius,
Math would tell us not to use Safari.
Bunch of fucking geniuses, Pat. Bunch of fucking geniuses.
I'm telling you. I have to tell jokes because otherwise my brain gets bored.
So back to our guest.
Yeah, Pat. Obviously, you do what you do, and you become a great promoter in the city, and you partner with North Coast, and you talked about being able to, like, you did the DJ stage, and you brought. You were able to bring the homies like De La Pena and Maker and all these people. Is there any particular Chicago artists you might have gotten to work with that may have been more on a major label or major level that were more headliners at North Coast?
Not North Coast for like headlining status hip hop dudes. We did have we had Common through the React company. We do that Man Be on the Beach festival.
Oh, okay, you guys do that one too.
Yeah, that's us. And we had Common last year as a headliner, and that was great, man. That was like one of the best Common sets I've ever seen. You know, of course, you know, like any hip hop dude, you know, not the easiest crew to deal with, but like he was fucking great, man. Like that was one of the best sets I've ever seen. It was a perfect end on the beach on a summer night in Chicago. It was a great set.
That's awesome. And the festival kids, do they react well to him? I mean, Common's popular enough, I guess, because he's an actor now and stuff. I wouldn't imagine a lot of the festival kids really know a lot of the like older stuff.
Well, Man Be on the Beach happens down at Oakwood Beach, down on like 39th or so. So we're very involved in like the Hyde Park neighborhood down there with the community there. So they really come out in force to it. And we make sure that, you know, wherever we go, you know, if we're disrupting a neighborhood or a public beach, we make sure to engage that community pretty heavily, you know, and get up people. We have a whole community stage, nonprofit row. So he had a pretty good crowd there. Like they were way into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
Have you ever run into pushback from the different neighborhoods for wanting to throw a party?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, you know, you go into these community meetings and they're like, people just like are not happy that you're taking over the park for 3 days. Yeah. But, you know, you try and do stuff like, you know, you employ as many people from the community as possible. You know, you give tickets to everybody within like a 5-block radius who wants to go to the festival. You ask the local, you know, charities like where, or the local aldermen, you know, where should we put our money for charity? Because we always have some kind of charity that we're giving back to. So whatever's local to that area, we give back to that charity.
Wow.
So it's just constant outreach and communication. We have like a hotline if someone from the neighborhood wants to, you know, if they have a complaint about something, that we have like a hotline during the fest they can call, all kinds of stuff, man. It was just a constant back and forth. But yeah, you know, no one wants a loud ass festival in their backyard, and I understand that. But it, you know, all festivals are loud ass festivals, so not much.
Well, we should talk about doing a new one here up in the 40th now that we have a hip hop alderman.
Yeah, hell yeah. I know. I feel like that's a win for all of us, right? Doesn't it feel like it's a victory for everybody?
It is.
That's so good.
It is, crazy. And I wanted to say something up front, but shout out to Andre Vasquez, as everybody we know him. We all here know him as Prime. So that was a hell of a thing. And shout out to Mike.
Victory, knocking out an alderman that many years, an incumbent that's been around for 30 years. Who's part of a machine, even more so than the length of time. It's the connections in the machine he's been a part of. So this was a huge thing.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Pat.
I'll just say, my girlfriend who shouted out Psalm 1 earlier, she actually still has residency in that ward, so she voted for him and got
awesome.
O'Connor's been there for like how many years? Like
36, I think.
30, yeah. Holy shit.
He's been there since 1983, I think was his first year.
Wow.
He pulled out all the stops too. Building websites and the mailers and everything that he did.
Did you see the mailers, Pat?
No.
Mailers are crazy.
Dude spent, I think I read dude spent 1.7 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was he was one of the top spends for alderman race here in the city. His I don't know the exact number, but yeah, he had a lot of money on his own, plus he got a lot of money from Rom, because he's been Rom, and before that he was Daley's like kind of right hand man. He was the floor guy and stuff there. So he's been entrenched. Stick around after the show. We don't need to show them like here, but I'll show you some of the flyers afterwards. It was insane, and the thing is that there was definitely some people that were swayed by that and like, oh, rapper with these profane lyrics and blah, blah, blah. But it ended up working the complete opposite for them. They sent out so many mailers. I would come home almost every day to have 4 to 6 mailers between me and my girl in our mailbox of just completely Prime is a racist, Prime is homophobic, Prime is a woman beater, all this stuff. And it was insane. And it ultimately completely backfired. That pissed people off even more with the thing. So
how many weeks did this go on? Like, it went on a couple of weeks for the mailer.
A couple of months, no?
Yeah, he so the first election was February 26th, right? So at the time he was fighting against Prime and 3 other people running for alderman. So he wasn't really focused a ton on anyone in particular. He was just kind of doing his thing. But when it came out, obviously they had the runoff, and if one of those other 4 were running, would have dropped, not been on the ballot at the time, O'Connor would have lost, or at least he would have lost the vote there. There still might have been a runoff, but it was only after that where he's like, okay, now I'm in a runoff with this guy, so now I'm going to pull out these cards out of my ass to use. And so it was the last, it was pretty much since almost the entire month of March. They went out in the last, especially the last 3 weeks, I would say. And that was a complaint around the whole neighborhood, is the amount of mailers and big things that were coming out that he was doing that just really turned people the other way. So
it's good that they got a chance to see what type of person he was with the mailers being sent out, because he would even say things that was horrible to say that Prime said it. You know what I mean? And Prime was like, yo, like, yeah, that might have been my past. Apologize for that. But I'm amazed that he's using these words right now in front of you. And there's like kids running across.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, no, it was nuts.
Tacky.
1.7 mil down the drain, huh?
Yeah.
1.7, and Dre beat him with
100, and I want to say 107,000.
Nice.
Had a boy.
Nice. What a way to win.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's a whole bunch of fuck off.
I wonder what he's doing now.
Who?
I lost to this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Racist turn.
That motherfucker's gonna retire and chill out and fuck.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's still old rich white guy.
Well, the thing is, though, is that he never stopped being a practicing lawyer all these years that he's been an alderman. He's been a lawyer this whole time. So it's like, I mean,
the thing with being an alderman is you can also have your own business. How's that legal in Chicago? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and the alderman job pays pretty good. It's like $160,000, $120,000, $160,000 a year job.
120.
120. Okay, there you go. So
I was lining it up because I was gonna reach out to Prime and be like, "Yo, no, just kidding."
Yo, Prime.
Not to keep talking about this, but obviously you get a very livable salary as being alderman. So on top of that, he was a practicing lawyer. On top of that, his wife was a real estate agent, and he would zone things in her favor.
Yeah,
when she would build things.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
So yeah,
like number
so
one.
Now, what's Prime's wife do?
I feel bad for saying that I don't know.
I don't know.
I was just
very sweet, and his kids are amazing. I've met the family, but I don't know what
because it takes a hell of a support system to pull something like that off, right? Yeah. They're teeing off on her husband.
Yeah,
and
you have a strong family to go through that, right?
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. Prime. We talked about how hip hop can set you up for something like politics properly because it teaches you, he's already got that thick skin because of the battle rap, and he can, and he's quick. And actually the biggest problem I had with Prime when he did battle, I used to literally yell at him about this. I was like, man, sometimes, dude, you like people and you don't go in hard enough on them. Like I saw him do it with Mike, with Idea. I remember when he fucking was battling Idea, he took it easy on Idea. Idea murdered him, and he didn't go in for the kill. And he was like, I'm like, I get it's your homie. Don't fucking shake his hand, dude. Go fucking kill him. Don't fucking touch him. Don't shake his hand. Fucking beat him.
Risky coach.
Did you ever
supposed to do that for real?
Hey Pat, did you ever coordinate like ciphers and stuff like that, or have your things been just big ass shows?
Yeah, not really, man. I've always been a fan of like the music rather than like the battle aspect of it. Like I was just like the music side of this. I didn't do too many like DJ battles or breaking battles. I did in college, but not when I got out here. So people already out here doing it, like CBC was a thing and like all that stuff. So there was already kids out here doing it. So they did better than I did. So.
I still have up the festival Wookiees, and one of them says, "Nah, bro, this isn't your bowl. My boy made this in Peru." Dude's teeth are straight up burnt out of his face.
It's I know. I love those guys though. They're a big part of my ticket buying fans. So shout out to all the Wooks out there. I love you.
Shout out to the
Hey, so let me ask you. Okay, since we mentioned it, we made a joke about it, and I'm sure you've been asked about this, but let's talk about this if you want to, about the whole fucking Fire Festival thing. You being involved in a festival thing. When you were watching that documentary, were you just shaking your head like you guys are out of your fucking minds?
I had just like severe anxiety watching it, like from the very start,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like every promoter's worst nightmare, just like, and that was like,
they did it themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, completely. They had no idea what they were doing. They had zero idea what they were doing.
And you know what? That's okay because you got to do everything for the first time. But they were so delusional. Like, you could still do the fest if you don't know what you're doing. Just instead of doing it, it'll take, because it takes like a year to do everything together, right? Properly, probably at least a year, right?
Yeah, you got to lock down your site like a year in advance.
So
really start working out with like local police and like those kind of guys, like local officials. You got to start that. It's a year in advance. You really got to start that.
So that's easy. These guys were like, oh, 3 months, we'll do everything. I mean, they were learning on the job. And I mean, besides the fact that Billy dude was actually full of shit from go one. So
hang on, let me jump in here real quick because I need professional advice. Pat, how many times have you ever wanted to start a show and you said to yourself, my first thing to do is get Ja Rule?
Hey, you know what's funny is Ja Rule was in Chicago the weekend that the Fire Fest was going down. He was at like a Jack.
He was hiding in the basement of Congress.
Like Jack Daniels is doing some like branded event, and the special guest was Ja Rule. So he was in Chicago, and that whole shit was going down.
Oh,
we were hired to promote it. So they're like, "You guys should come through. Ja Rule's going to be here." And I was like, "I've been watching."
Supposed to be a fire?
Yeah, are you sure he's going to be here? Because he's got another thing going on. About it. Yeah, but that's rarely my first thought is get Ja Rule involved.
Ja Rule's like, I'm gonna be where the money is.
What's one of the biggest? Well, so let me ask you. Speaking of, so talking about how long it takes and all the problems that can occur, what was one of the biggest obstacles you guys ever had to face with one that you guys can talk about? I know some stuff might not be something you want to talk about, so whatever you want as far as an obstacle, or what's been the biggest obstacle that you faced that you guys overcame?
It's really dealing with, artist egos are out of control. Like at the very top of things, like it's so nuts. Like I don't know if you guys ever put together a festival billing, or work with Photoshop, but they literally argue over 1 or 2 pixels. If you know how big a pixel is, it's like unnoticeable. And they argue over like, this guy's name is like 2 pixels bigger than my name. So you gotta like show them in Photoshop, like working all that shit out. That's always a pain in the ass.
Wow.
You're talking to three creators. You're talking to 3 creatives. I've been a creative I'm still art director, Carlos, Sean. So that hits home more than most. So
that's why I didn't crack a joke, because I was about to cry.
It's fucking delusional. Some of these people are literally fucking delusional.
Dude, it's nuts. And like, I don't know what they think they're gonna get out of being like 2 pixels bigger than the next guy, but it's insane. And these people are making, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just like, take my check and please make it easier on me, Take my money, but please take it easy on me. So that always sucks. But that's the business that we're in. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And also like, paying money for an artist who could very well just smoke a joint, miss his flight, and you're out, 50% of the deposit. That also hurts too.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Has that happened more than once?
It happened a few times. That's not one of the things that I miss about doing hip hop shows. Is
I couldn't imagine if you ever booked Snoop, how that would go.
We actually had Snoop playing. We had played North Coast one year. He had like North Coast.
Yeah,
he was all right. He had a good crew with him. I think he might. Go ahead. I was gonna say he might be past his like getting too crazy days.
He's a professional dude, though.
That's what I was just gonna say. Is like Snoop is now on that level where he has his for his persona. He still is he's on that level to be extremely professional when it comes to that.
Yeah. He was cool. He was great.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, who's your favorite all-time Chicago hip hop artist?
Oh, come on now. That's like, and then I got to walk out and see these people on the street.
That's what we need to ask. That's what we need to ask him when we do the Midway interview, not for the podcast.
No, I know, but I'm like, as him. Well, I mean,
he wants to know now. Chad's inquiring now.
All right, so you don't have to answer, but you don't have to answer that. But you know what? I'll ask you. We'll add, I got something for you in our next segment here.
All right on.
He's like, what?
I mean, I've always loved, I will say this. what I think what Maker and True are doing right now with the altered tapes shit, I feel like that shit is fucking dope, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Like that shit is like some, it's just like I'm more of a fan than I am of like, I'll just say like rap, like I'm a beats guy. And what they're doing with that shit like blows me away. Like I love that shit.
Yeah, when I play those, like they always get a good response, and there's no time when I can't play those.
Yeah, right. So if you guys haven't checked out Altered Tapes, check that shit out, man. Cause that's
oh, they're amazing. Yeah.
I might be a little biased because I lived with those guys for like 7 years, so I might be a little biased, but I love them.
No, that's not even biased. That's dope as dope.
Just keep talking too. Pat Grumley, this or that? Would you rather hang out with Festival Wookiees or Ghosts from the Congress?
Wookiees, man. Wookiees are a good time. They're always down to get down. You just gotta make sure that like you have your lighter when you leave the crew, because they'll like smoke the lighter and shit, and like don't let them talk you into buying any kind of like health crystals or something. They're smooth talkers, man. They've been around, That's
they've seen some things.
They're professional Wookiees.
All right, I'm gonna make this easy for you because we're gonna keep it a little bit more popular, mainstream. The College Dropout or Resurrection?
Ooh, probably College Dropout. Those were pretty classic beats, man. I mean, that shit was fun. Resurrection was good, but I feel like College Dropout had more standout songs.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
He's like, yes, you passed.
Fair enough.
Pat, this or that. Because you have DJ friends, I want to ask this DJ question. Serato or vinyl?
You can use Serato. That's fine. As long as you don't use that sync button, right? Because they got that fucking sync button now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Serato's fine. You don't got to lug around crates or records to be a real DJ, quote unquote, anymore. You can just have all your shit on a little USB stick and still be able to scratch and match beats and shit and have a good library. You don't got to lug around records anymore. It's all right. Remember like that shit when you lug records around, you get like the cuts on your fingers because for some reason, like little holes.
Yo, I'm going to tell you this. I've been doing a vinyl monthly over at Stony Island Arts Bank for people to, to bring vinyl, like just anybody. If you like vinyl, you can bring it. And one day I was like, I'm gonna bring vinyl I'm gonna bring like a stack of vinyl to my set and play. So I was getting on a bus, and normally 10, 15 years ago, I can carry 2 crates and maybe like a mixer. I carried 1 crate of records, bro. By the time I got halfway down the block, I was like, I gotta catch the bus. But, I couldn't do it. So yeah, man, I'll always use a controller of Serato.
Man, I had a kid come up to me one time, and he was like, I was DJing on, might have been a controller, and he was like a super hip hop, hardcore hip hop kid, and I don't know, he didn't know who I was. He just didn't know any of my pedigree, and he was like, man, you ain't keeping it real. You ain't spinning vinyl, man. You ain't keeping it real. And I said, motherfucker, you know what's real? Records are real fucking heavy, asshole. You carry them motherfuckers. My back hurts real fucking bad.
Right.
That's what's real.
Nah, man. Use technology. Embrace it.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
But
I tell every DJ anywhere around my age, if they ain't doing it, then they ain't doing it right.
That's right. Don't be scared.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real basic and do this or that. Festivals or just like a regular house show?
Okay, so festivals are good for business, but me personally, I don't like huge crowds of people, so like I'm in for a house show all day long.
Kind of ironic, isn't it?
But that's my old ass, man. I'm fucking 37 years old. Like, talk to me when I'm 18, maybe it's a different story, but house parties nowadays, man, that's for sure.
I went to Lollapalooza in 1996, and I've never been to a music festival since.
Ryan walked in. I can see Ryan walk in, and immediately he starts getting more angry and red. And like I can see person bumps into him, and he's like, "I'm fucking out of here."
I can see that too.
He just starts getting close to it, starts pulling up to the venue, and just starts getting more angry and angry. He's like the music can't even cure him. He can't even be happy. Rage Against the Machine's on, and he's not even like fucking enjoying himself. He's fucking kicking.
Every year I'll see a lineup for some festival. I'll be like, oh, that's cool. That could be cool to go to. And I will say, North Coast in particular, I was really close to going several times because you guys do kill it with your lineup more for what my thing is. But it's the people and being in that environment. I'm like, I can't do that. I will murder people.
Well, you do know people in the business. They can ask for like special passes that make sure you're not in GA. You can, like,
That's right.
be little sections away from all that shit, you know.
This is true, but I've never really been that guy to do that. So, but yeah, keep it on.
There you go.
In my head.
Carlos
He'll be like, and Ryan will go, "Look, there's a Wookiee."
It'd be cool to do like a documentary on them, like treating them as they are, like a Wookiee or like a wild animal, like spotting their behaviors and that could be.
You guys gotta check out one of my favorite Facebook groups is Colorado Wook Hunters or Colorado Trophy Wook Hunters or something like that. Well, they'll like take a picture of a Wookiee and like post it into a group and be like, bagged and tagged. I caught this wild buck. He was not you know, tagged him in peace and let him go into his natural habitat or something like that.
His natural habitat, and in the back is like a fish like jam band poster.
Yeah. Colorado. What is it, Christine? Yeah. Colorado Big Game Trophy Wook Hunters.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's
anyways, it's great.
I'll put the link there for anybody who wants to.
Here it is.
Nice.
There it is.
Oh, it's amazing.
Jeez.
Anyway. Good people, though, man. Good people. They come out. They like to party. I love them.
So when's the next? Were you gonna say something?
No.
Oh, I thought I saw Ryan. When's the next North Shore or North Coast?
It's Labor Day every year, I think, right?
Yeah, Labor Day weekend every year. It's our 10-year anniversary. We're moving locations this year from the park to Northerly Island.
I saw that.
It's gonna be out on the lake this year. So new location, new vibe, 10-year anniversary. It's gonna be a good one. Yeah. And then we're about to announce our on the React side, our Man Be on the Beach Festival. That lineup is super killer this year. So we're about to announce that lineup and stuff. So it's gonna be a fun year, man. It's gonna be a good one.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Nice.
Cool. So if anybody wants to follow you or follow React and everything else that you're going on, where should they go to check you out?
On Instagram, I'm just at Cold Grums. And then, at React Presents on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter for all the React stuff. It's at North Coast Fest on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. We're easy to find. We're everywhere. So React Presents, North Coast Music Festival, Cold Drums. We're out and about.
Yeah, let's go through those Adobe sound effects later.
I love it.
I get excited sometimes.
Risky. Captain America. You got your Captain America pillow shield back here.
Absolutely. Hold on, and I got.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I got my Moon Knight glass right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
When you're walking through a store and you see a fucking Moon Knight glass, you fucking buy it. You don't fucking walk by it. You buy it.
And when you ask what your social media handles are, you say,
"Hey, you can catch me on them interwebs at DJ Risky Business 1975."
Oh
yep,
my God.
1975. I'm old as fucking dirt.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Carlos. You're older than me, Dick.
Yo, you can find me on Facebook under my name, Rasan Shondo Hawkins. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at SEAN or DJ SEANDOE.
I don't even know his own Instagram.
Yeah, whatever. I got a couple of shows that I want to push.
That's because you're older than me too.
No, I think you're older than me.
You're older than me.
So there's a show at Sub T this Friday with the fellas Are They and Def C. DJ Allo and myself are DJing that. So come through Sub T. Our Record Store Day, Machine Wash Music has a free tape that they're giving out at different record stores around the city. There's a lot of people that are local on that tape. So if you can find that tape, I hope that you can go grab it. There are a couple of people that we know that's on that tape. One side is rock, one side is rap. And that Sunday at Shady Rest Record Store, Maintenance Crew is doing the release or like a release of their sampler EP, limited to 200. Please go pick that up. Maintenance Crew is an awesome group and first time on vinyl. So catch us.
Boom.
Dope.
Ooh.
Carlos?
Oh, you can find me at coconutjustice.com, Coconut Justice everywhere else. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will see this.
What?
Yeah.
Very nice. I like that background.
Nice.
Yeah, what nice wallpaper. What is that?
See that?
Yeah.
When I was stalking you, I saw a picture of you in front of a thing like that, so I wanted to recreate that a little bit.
Oh, sick.
I'll send that over to you if you'd like.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Cool.
Sorry, I didn't realize that was me at first. Sorry.
No one does. No one does. We've had people say, I don't look like that or whatever. I'm like, everyone else agrees that you do.
No, that's great. I like it, man. Thanks. That's good.
You're welcome.
I will end it by saying that personally, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at 278media. The number is 278media, and Midway, of course, is Midway Doc across the board on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. So go and check us out, like, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We need trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on Facebook, on YouTube. So we can do some other cool things on the platform, and I think we're about 700 or so right now. So so it's all right. So keep following us and sharing and all that kind of stuff. Want to give a shout out to Doug Infinite, of course, for supplying us with the intro music.
I almost did it. Oh, here we go.
Did I see Doug is in town this week or today? Somebody just posted a picture of Doug at some spot. Nobody knows? Okay, we're going to move on. And our sponsor, of course, Shure Microphones. Thank you for some of the microphones that we use in our interviews and for our podcast. And next week, our scheduled guest is Doe.
Who is it, Doe? Who is it?
Who is it? Oh, I got it. Hold on. 1, 2, 3.
Doe, who is it? Who is it, Doe? Who is it?
Mark Davis.
Who?
Mark Davis.
Oh, Mark Davis.
Yeah.
Black
Records.
Black Pegasus. I helped him when they put out the common 7-inch that came out last year, which is dope. It's a couple unreleased common joints. So anyway,
pretty sick. I got it.
Are you going record hunting on Record Store Day?
There's one record that I want.
Okay, let me point out the fact that we finally get Risky to use this microphone, and then he picks it up, and then he drops it right back down, defeating the purpose.
Until next week, folks. Thank you, Pat. Thanks again for putting up with some of our shenanigans for an hour. Appreciate that. So,
sure.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys.
We're gonna go check out these sound libraries. Everybody have a good week.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Peace.
Absolutely.